So the first view that we're going to try to do is a lateral view of the skull, which sounds simple enough, but sometimes there's tips and tricks that we can use to make the image much prettier and much more diagnostic. When you look at most dogs, the way their skull is shaped, this part of the skull is much wider than down here near the mandible. And because of that, if we just line them up here naturally, the skull will be oblique, and if we shoot our x-ray, the x-ray will be oblique. So somehow we need to raise the mandible up off the tabletop, so now the eyes are perpendicular to the tabletop and the skull is nice and straight. Well, there's a couple of ways to do that. One is manually, you can grab their nose and actually rotate it up like this to where their skull is straight. But for radiation safety purposes, that's not ideal. So the best way to do it is to grab a foam wedge, such as this, which is radiolucent, so you won't see it, and you can stick it right underneath here, underneath the mandible and underneath this part of the neck, and that will elevate that part of the mandible up, and his eyes are going to be nice and straight and perpendicular. Now we have a nice straight film, straightly positioned dog, which is what we want. The next thing is we're going to turn our collimator light on, and we want to collimate down to the size of the skull and center over the skull. And so we're going to collimate right down to where we get the entire skull, but really nothing else. And then we're going to put our right marker on here because he's in right lateral view.